How's it going, my Comic Chat Army? We're here today with Jesse Dracman, the creator of Freakenstein?
Yeah.
All the way in Australia. So right, currently we are filming at my night, his morning.
Yep.
That's so cool, man. So tell us, what's the creative process behind Freakenstein?
Yeah, cool, man. So a lot of daydreaming, but then daydreams become a script. So I just formulate it all into a script, and then I send it over to my good buddy Dean to do it. And he's a wizard of an artist, and he smashes it all together, and we're rocking and rolling, brother. It's sick. It's the most fun I've had in a long time, man. So it's I've only been doing this like a couple of years now properly, and it's not as painful as I thought it would be. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
How many issues do we have out right now?
So we're 2 issues in, with number 3 coming out hopefully before the end of this month. So yeah, we're just finishing the cover now. So yeah, it's ready to rock.
Do you fund all your own comics, or do you crowdsource them?
Okay, so I have an interesting angle on how I approach this. So what I did was, because when things turned interesting, I just being a touring musician for the last 10 years, I had this routine going, and all of a sudden it just went stop. So I started writing books, right? And that's the first thing I put out, Freakenstein, the novel. And it got a really cool reaction. A lot of people said, you should turn this into a comic book. And, so then I wrote A Furious Tale, which is, my baseball Furies legacy tale. And then, like, the whole process was funded through recycling. So what I did was just weekly recycling, because a lot of people said, oh, you should do Patreon, you should do Kickstarter. And I was like, I don't want to do what everyone else does. I don't want to commit to some crazy, upkeep of social media content and stuff. It's a lot of work. So I thought of recycling because I wanted to do something ethical and give some sentimental meaning back to what I'm doing. So I just went on a weekly crusade of recycling on foot, and look like a bit of a hobo in the process, but it gives what I create more meaning to myself. So that's what I do.
So does the music reflect the comic, or does the comic reflect the music?
It's a bit of both, man. I mean, Freakenstein was initially written as my band Dark Cell was one of our songs. Freakenstein was one of our more popular songs, and from there I just generated this character and this idea. And it was all stemmed from tour diaries that I wrote when we were in the US in 2015 when we were on tour. So I kept a diary of every day on tour for 6 weeks, and rather than compress it all and put it out as a book, I just thought, I'm going to turn this into a rock and roll series with werewolves, zombies, Sasquatches. I've even got freaking killer tomatoes in this shit, man. So yeah, I've got it all in there. Yeah. It's kind of like my love letter to horror, so I bring my horror into my comics.
All right. Do you have a bundle yet where they can get the CD and the comic together?
I will be working on something similar to that. Plan to, do a bit of a collection piece for everyone so that they can get, a taste of my music as well as the comic books, or maybe some merchandise as well. So it's all in motion. It's because Freakenstein is essentially going to be a 6-part limited series. So we're currently, just about to drop number 3. So it's a bit of a slow burn compared to, regular publicated comics. But yeah, it's worth it, and it's getting a lot of love. So yeah, I'm happy.
Do you, what's the website that we can pick it up at?
Yeah, man. So what I did, I've got an umbrella that I call Freak Productions. It's spelt with 2 E's. And it actually, when I looked it up, it means too weird to be a freak. So, it's got a bit of strange meaning to it. So I thought, yep, that's me in a nutshell. So it's www.freakproductions.com. Okay. So you can go there and you can find everything of my creative hub of the last couple of years, which is, all my novels, my comic books, and even my podcast and videos that I've put up. So yeah, there's a lot of content there.
Do you ship all around the world?
Yeah, man. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I've shipped plenty of issues of Freakenstein over to the US and even to the UK, and yeah, it's good. It's getting love overseas as well, man. So it's beautiful.
Nice. Are you in comic shops already?
Yeah, man. I'm here in Brisbane, so I have a local comic shop, Comicks, etc. Sending some love out to those guys. They're great. They support independent comic books, and they've happily put my book up on the shelf, and it's been one of the best-selling independent comics actually. So it's doing really well.
Nice. Comic-Cons. Do you have Comic-Cons in Australia?
We do. We have Oz Comic Con and we have Supernova. So I'll be actually appearing at Supernova this year in November. So I think it's the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. I'll be there in Artist Alley. My mate Aaron, he'll be there too with his comic, Maurice and the Metal. It's a sick read. So yeah, we'll both be there repping our stuff.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, you said you're a musician. I'm a musician. Damn it. You make music. So you tour. Yeah. I can't talk.
It's kind of like a mix of a magician and a musician mixed into one. I think you're onto something, Cody.
Right. I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man.
So you tour around the entire world?
Yeah. So we've toured. We've done overseas tours twice now. We were supposed to do a couple more. Obviously, circumstances changed, but we toured the US in 2015, and we toured the UK and Germany 2019, I think it was. So yeah, we've covered a little bit of ground and had a good time, man. So seen a bit of the world.
Nice. So I guess what's some of the creative processes behind making a comic book?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I started doing it, man, I've been reading comic books all my life, man. So it's, I'm as nerdy as they come with the rest of everyone, right? But when it came to doing it myself, like I read bits and pieces. I didn't really get into the rabbit hole of researching it too deeply, but I just started writing script ideas and stuff. With all the trade backs that I've read, thankfully a lot of great writers have, included scripts that they've put for their comics. So I just had a little skim through some of those and just kind of picked up a couple of ideas. And yeah, I mean, look, honestly, it's pretty simple for me anyway. I really believe anyone can do it. So when people come up to me and say, hey, I want to do a comic book, I go, dude, do it. Like, seriously, the world needs more creativity, man. So bring it out there. I encourage anyone and everyone, write a comic book. If that is your passion, do it. So what I did was I had this idea for a horror rock and roll series about my band and myself in a nightmare world. And I found myself an artist that, understood my zany ideas and just put it all together, and we're kicking goals, man. Yeah.
Yeah, can we see a couple pages from the book?
Yeah. What do we got? Yeah, so I mean, it's black and white. I chose to go black and white for a couple of reasons, right? I'm a traditionalist. I love black and white, and I think sometimes with color you can get lost in the mix. Mm-hmm. So with black and white, it gives you a bit more. I don't know. You can appreciate the detail a little bit, but that's a couple of panels there. So this is a sequence where the band is, on tour, and this is, before shit hits the fan, basically. So, and this is all based on true story, man. So, and the best part about doing this comic book series is that it's including everybody that was there on the tour with me. So, all the bands that we toured with, like we played with some big bands. We played with like El Nino and Davey Suicide and Motogrator and, some big bands over there. But I'm friends with a lot of really cool bands. My friends in Skin Lab, they're up there in the corner there, jamming away. So I put those guys in there. One of my favorite heavy metal bands. Combi Christ. So I got some sick cameos in there. Even Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. He's in the comic as well. He does the Space Zebra podcast with my good friend Josh Balls. It used to be Emotionless in White, and they love the idea of being in the comic. So I have them in the series as my commentators. But so I mean, this is fun. It's we drove in an RV across America. Best way to see any part of the world, man. I highly recommend it. And my tour manager Chippy, he's in there as my sidekick of sorts. And we just live on a steady diet. Well, he lives on a steady diet of beer and burritos. So part of Frankenstein's quest is to find the ultimate burrito. But
Nice.
so that's a little bit of the creative process there, man. I've come up with were-deers, a mix of werewolves and deers. So, and I got gangster werewolves there. Yeah, a bit of a play on Bloods and Crips in LA, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But then we have some sweet gore as well, bro. So I don't know if you can see that too well.
Oh, nice. I like the artist.
Yeah.
The artist did a really good job.
Yeah, man. He just really, like, in my script, I don't know how a lot of other artists or writers do it, but for me, I just, I get down to the definition and write down to how much blood comes out of their heads and how do their eyes react when they're colliding together, that sort of thing. So I just really get into the detail of facial expression, all that, just little intricacies that I feel are very relevant to the detail in the panels. So that's how I roll.
Yeah. Any tips on how to write a script?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you've got the idea in your head, just think of it panel by panel. Sometimes less is more. So I've learned that a lot through music. Less is more. So if you've got a simple sequence, put it down on paper and just I learned this from a Todd McFarlane seminar. Just keep creating. Just put down your ideas, and eventually they'll start to click and simplify into a format that can work. And of course, if you're working with an artist, have something that they can understand and translate to page for you. Because, if you start writing all this zany crap, they're not going to understand it too well. So, yeah.
Social medias. What platforms are you on?
I operate predominantly on Facebook. So I have Freak on there, FREEK. So that's there for the world to check out. Freak Productions is also on Twitter and Instagram as well. But I don't really operate those. My sister actually operates those for me, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of your sister, have you wrote your family in the book at all? Like anywhere?
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, part of the sentimental attachment of this comic book was to include family and friends. A lot of the, one of the subplots of this story is the bonding of family and friends, and how it impacts in story. So, I've included my family in this. They wanted to be zombies, so I turned them into zombies in the first issue. I put a call out to a lot of Dark Cell fans out there if they want to be in the comic as well, and people, they wanted to be made into monsters. So, I did that as well. I put a lot of cameos of people in there, just for the experience of being in a comic book. So, it's that just gives a bit more value to the reader.
Okay. Have you put someone in there have you put someone in the book that you either got in an argument with or don't like to die?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I just haven't really gone into that sort of train of thought. I've kept, lighthearted, if that makes sense. So, like everyone that I put in there is if one gets by monsters, it's all with the best of intentions, or sweetest of intentions.
All right. And what Comic Cons are you going to be attending again?
So I'll be at Supernova this year.
Okay.
So yeah, my plan is to try and infiltrate and get out to the bigger, wider world out there into the next year. So hopefully next year I'll be at some events over your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
I have to come see you.
Because you got all the cool conventions over there, bro.
Yeah, we got New York Comic Con. I'm trying to think of another one.
You got Dragon Con, you got San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah.
you got, oh man, you've got more than just right there than what we have here. So, but here in Australia, we're getting pretty good too. We're starting to get a few pop up around all over the country. So we're getting there slowly.
Nice. How's the indie comic presence? Do you have a lot of indie comics there?
We actually do, yeah. There's like I said, in the last couple of years, I've really sort of dived into this, and there's a lot of really good independent comics in Australia. Like we have some really great guys here, like Sorab Del Rio does real Australian-esque comics. He does one called Bazza the Bogan, Bazza the Barbarian, I think it's called. Apologies for getting it wrong, but he does this comic series about a what we call in Australia a bogan that just smashes zombies. Another guy, Darren Zen Close, does a series called Killaroo, which is a fantastic comic about this huge muscular kangaroo that just kicks absolute butt. And my very good friend Aaron here in Brisbane with me, he does a heavy metal comic series called Maurice and the Metal. Like a childhood.
We just reviewed that, Maurice and the Metal.
Yeah, man. Yes. So I'm really good mates with him, and he collaborates with me on this. He actually helps do all the graphic layout and stuff for it. So, there's a really good community here in Australia between writers and artists here. We I don't know, we're all helping each other. There's a great platform here in Australia called Comicks with X, and Comixx Australia. And this guy Shane Sudell, he basically has created a conglomerate, a web umbrella for all artists and creators of comic books in Australia to be able to be found by the world, basically. Pretty good, man. We're doing all right.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is just shine more light on all indie creators.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of great stuff, man. And I collaborate with artists in Indonesia, and man, I gotta tell you, there's some incredible talent overseas, man. There's I think independence where it's at, man. We got some amazing talent, some people with great ideas and great vision,
and fresh and brand new stories. Because with Batman and Superman,
we're doing all right.
You can only tell they're basically telling the same stories again.
It's look, man, a lot of the majors, man, there's I won't get into it, but look, I love my Batman, I love my Superman, like everyone else does. But yeah, it gets like that from time to time, man. And you kind of go, I'm pretty sure I read something similar to this 2 years ago. So yeah, it's very, for comics like that have been around as long as they have, it must be hard to sort of tell new stories. So but look, I'm glad it's still around, man. It inspires people like myself and everyone else out there to create and give the world something new.
Yeah. Well, look, Jesse, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with us. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
If there's any manga readers out there, I'm currently working on my first debut manga comic called Damien, which is based on Damien the Omen. So it's a little series about the Antichrist, and he's going to piss Dad off and build a cyborg version of himself so he can play video games and listen to metal. So it's pretty sick. Yeah, man. But look, man, I'm just grateful to firstly be talking to you. I'm grateful to be able to work and do this comic book. And to anyone out there that watches this and wants to make comic books, I say do it, man. And I'm very easy to reach and happy to give advice. And, you know, I'm no expert, but if we can all help each other, man, and kick some goals, thumbs up to us, more power to us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.